Today we work on the interior for our queue and finish up some planners near the exit. I'm Mostly Average Matt and this is Hackberry Hills. Hello and welcome back to Hackberry Hills. I'm so glad you are joining us. So in this episode we do a lot more scenery work and we finish up some really tedious stuff. We start out by working on the cave, uh, which I really was not looking forward to, and it really wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. So uh, we do a lot of fence work here to try and get a decent looking fence, and then we switch into a lot of rock work inside, and it goes pretty quick. And then we start adding in some really interesting looking support beams uh, that are there to kind of hold up the rock, and that's going to play into a little bit of the storyline that we'll get into a little later in the series. But first thing I want to really talk about is I started messing around with some of my recording settings. I thought I found something that was really working well, and then I had to take a break in between recording this, and for whatever reason when I came back it just was not the same. The first bit that I was doing with it, like, everything was just wonderful, butter smooth, no problems whatsoever. When I came back it was hitching every minute. I would get one big hitch and it was just really kind of annoying. But jumping back to the actual video rather than just me rambling on, we added some nice little sightlines in the cave, which I think is a really nice little touch uh, for people to be able to look around, see other people, see the sky, have some natural sunlight come in. And of course, now we're on to the rock work, which is just me moving the camera around a whole ton. Uh, but yeah, so I'm going to be experimenting. I am most likely going to drop the graphics because I think I'm already kind of pushing the limits of what my PC can do and then asking it to record on top of that. So we may drop the graphics a little bit. It shouldn't be that noticeable because I do have some settings pretty high. So we'll drop them a little bit. I'm going to experiment more so in the career mode because that just seems to be a good series to really be testing it. Because that's more about the actual gameplay rather than the looks of it. So, and we may switch back and forth when we finish stuff up to get some different shots, but we'll figure that out as we move along. So, now we're working on some stalactite, and I just could not, or stalagmite. I can't remember which one's which. I know the one comes from the top and the one's at the bottom, but I don't remember which one. But I could not get the colors quite right on these, and I've tried for an extended period of time trying to get these to go, and I find something that works. It's close enough. I was almost to the fence where I was like, I'm just going to make them very different so it seems like they're intended to be different rather than try and make it close. But I eventually figure it out, and I think it all works out. We did add this nice little entrance to our cave, which I wasn't originally going to do, but once I actually put it in, I thought it really kind of pulled the whole cave entrance thing together. Like it looks like it's supposed to be there, and like you're supposed to walk through there. So really happy with the way that turns out. Oh, here comes some of the beams, and really just to get them in these random shapes, I use the big 8-meter haunted house beam. I think that's what it's called. and I allowed the align to surface checkbox to be on. So anything that I could just find that it would stick to that would stay out of guest walking area and would somewhat stay up along the rocks, I just threw it in, and I think it came out pretty nice. We do need to add some lights in there. I didn't get a chance to do that. What we're doing here though is we're trying to figure out the best way to make this mountain on top. I was messing around with potentially doing a water feature, and then I really struggled with it, and then figured out that and we're gonna have an appearance from my bird today. So yeah, I'm sorry about that, but he'll probably stream a few more times. But anyway, yeah, so I wanted to have that water feature up top, and it just didn't work out quite the way I wanted to. It didn't look bad, but it wasn't necessarily working perfectly either. We also do some of the fencing around the last turn here, which I was kind of putting off, and you know, it works. We do add a really cool, at least in my opinion, a really cool lamppost that we duplicate around, and at night you probably won't see it very long here. We do not take a look at it in the live portion, but at night it kind of lights it up like that perfect amount. It's not too bright, but it's not too dark either, and it's got that yellow tint to it, so really just a nice little lamppost that kind of fits into the area. The big thing though that I added, oh yeah, there you go, get a little bit of a night shot there. And we added a couple more after this as well. Well, you can see we just put in a Vista point, I believe, and we're now putting out some sequencers, and these are going to have numbers on them, and they are all going to control a different water. So like if you go to like a normal theme park, you can pay like a quarter or a couple quarters and shoot water on someone, or I guess it's now probably $1 with all the inflation and whatnot. But so we added these to our park, and what's going to be interesting is if you are actually playing this, I am going to link them to the sequencer. So if you want to go and squirt some people, you can just go and click on the sequencer, hit the play button, and it'll just start squirting the different water effects around that area. So I thought that's a pretty interesting touch. We did do a little bit of groundwork on the side here. I really struggled how to finish off the top of the lift hill, and I came up with, I think, a pretty decent solution where you just have a fence that closes it off. It drops down a little bit, so you're no longer at the height of the water, and you sink down just a little bit to keep it kind of hidden away. So if like we have anyone over there walking, we did add a little small fence in there. This is not the final solution. This was me messing around with a couple different options. I was like, oh well, maybe I can make this a little bit larger. That doesn't work. So here we go, starting with the final version. Just copying a few of the steps and the railings, and trying to find a way to kind of get some of that stuff out of the way. And then the idea is, like, if you're up here, there is going to be a dirt path that you can walk along, that'll connect over to the main path over there. But it's going to be a less used path. Like, most of the time you're going to come up through the maintenance shed, and I think I actually deleted some footage there by mistake. Actually, no, I never recorded that footage. We did do a little bit of work down by the maintenance shed, We just added a retaining wall. It really wasn't anything too interesting, so I wasn't too worried about losing it. So you'll see it. We do cover it in the live portion, but not the best job of me recording what I'm doing. The last couple bits here we're quickly coming up on the actually slowly coming up on the end of the time lapse. We just start doing some more scenery around the outside of the queue. We finish off the fencing, and it kind of really wraps that in all together. And we work on our planners here that we get. And I wanted to build these so that the guests will actually use them and sit down on them. So we have those, I think they're Western benches that are there, and they're just very flat, very narrow, so you can hide them very easily. And we got our favorite wood beam that we duplicate and swing around a few different ways, and add in some of the light posts, and I think that turns out really nice. So, you know, everything is just kind of starting to fit together here. One thing that I really did struggle and I'm not super sold with is the interior of these planters. I wanted to definitely have some trees, but the ground has to be very low. So like you can see that I elevated the upper level of that pretty high up, and I actually had to duplicate it to kind of get that back down to the ground level there. And it seems very low. The bushes that I put in there weren't necessarily the tallest. I was trying to go for more of like a grassy look. And I don't think it really necessarily worked, so I think we'll probably just need to add in some more bushes. Or if you guys have any suggestions, please make sure to leave them in the comments, because I really struggled with that. But overall, I think the planters themselves look great, just the interior of them. And I need those trees in there to just kind of break up the sight line in that area. Otherwise, it'll all be very, very low things, except for like the tower that's over a part of the Rapids ride and a little bit of the building. So we are quickly wrapping up on the end, so I'm going to leave you here, and I will see you in the live portion. Hello and welcome to the live portion of today's video. I hope you enjoyed the time lapse. I didn't get quite as much done as I wanted to. And that was mainly because I was trying some new things out with the recording software on my computer. Most stuff did not work. So just to get the episode, get some quality scenery work done, I did put it back to the original settings. So we're going to experiment with that over the next couple series. But I mean, we have a really nice view. We did get a view from the queue. You can see that we did decorate a little bit of the entrance in here. We're going to try and put a sign over here, which I now know what the name of this, but we will come back to that in a future episode. We also got these nifty little planners that are off to the side here, and people can't sit on this side, and I'm sorry, I can already tell that it may be a little bit choppy, but they can sit on this side, on these two sides of the planter. They can also sit on this side and this, no, I think it's this side and this side. I don't remember, one of these two sides. Maybe they can do it all three on this one. Actually, I think it's this one and this side that people can actually sit on. So I think it turned out pretty well. I ended up using a lot of the same bush here, so I need to go in and add some different types of bushes just to get a little bit of color in there. I also didn't really vary the height, so I didn't really do a good job in that side. But the bulk of this episode comes right down through the queue here as we go over this little bit of a bridge here. And we just come in. We now have the interior of our queue. Kind of walk underneath this little pathway through this very narrow, as we break our computer. There we go. Very narrow pathway. We have support beams that are just kind of thrown around to try and make sure, oh, this one's not even connected to anything. We should probably fix that. Let's go ahead and... Ooh, that was not the right button. We don't want to do that. We need to edit. Quick fix. Just go ahead and throw him up into the sky. And that should be fine for now. So, let's get not selecting that anymore. So, yeah, we just have the support things that were just sent everywhere. We have rocks that we put in all up in the ceiling. We got some stalactite and stalagmite that are around some of the different areas that you have to weave through. Sometimes walk through if you're controlling the camera. You still do have this great view, but that is going to be obstructed a little bit with a waterfall that comes off the top. You also have a little bit of a view to the other queue over here, which I forgot to actually show you from this side. So let's go jump through there. But you can kind of see just a little bit, just a little peek of how much longer you have to wait, which is probably a long way. And then to get you out, you do have the same viewpoint from coming out, and you obviously have more of this like little water area here. I'm debating if I want to put some type of feature in there. I don't think I'm going to. I think I'm going to just kind of leave this like a natural style pond, but it doesn't really have anything. It's got some sunken trees into it, and I think it still came out very, very nice. I did add a doorway, I guess, or arch, if you will, on this side and the other side of this bridge. We're going to add a no entry sign or exit only or something like that. We will add some trim up here at some point too, if I can remember it. But yeah, pretty short episode. I am hoping, I know I wanted to try and get this done in two episodes, this being one of them, but I have a ton, and I mean a ton, of particle effects that I need to add in here, and there's going to be quite a few in here. Oh, I completely forgot about this. So every so often around this turn, we have these little things that have big red button and a number by it. In here, we're going to put these numbers out there, and they're going to control jets that shoot onto people. One really nice thing is every single one of these, I think I have 6 of them, they all have a vista view. So people will actually come over and like interact with it a little bit, which I think is a really cool touch. They're all generally the same thing. Some are a little bit bigger than others, so maybe we'll actually have like a pipe that sticks directly out of here. But yeah, I'm really happy with the way this is turning out. And what we're gonna try to do in the next episode, I want to get all of the outside work. So I want to try and get all the trees done. I want to try and get all the rock work done. And like I said, normally I would have been able to do this all by now, but combination of me going on vacation, me being sick, and then just work taking its toll on me. This is a series that is a little bit slower than the rest. Oh yeah, I forgot about this. We have a sunroof that goes into the cave that I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do with. So if you have any suggestions for that, let me know. I am thinking that there's going to be some type of water that comes down here, but we'll figure that out later. Ooh, that was pretty cool looking. Um, so yeah, I mean, I am chugging along with this. These are shorter episodes, because there's not a lot to it. There's no management features. It's literally just me doing scenery, and that just, the more scenery I do, the shorter the episodes are. And that sounds kind of funny because the more effort I'm putting in, it means the more of a time lapse I'm doing. So sometimes we'll have more to look at, and they'll get to be maybe like that 30-minute, but it's more or less just because I ended up rambling on about some random thing that I've done or along the way. So overall, again, I am very happy. We will get back to this, and hopefully we can finish up the outside area we do need to do on this side. We need to tidy up this area. Another thing that I just continuously forget. We had another retaining wall up here. And kind of make this more of a walkway for people, but that wasn't really all that interesting or time consuming. So again, I hope you enjoyed the episode. If you did, make sure you leave a like. If you didn't, make sure you leave a dislike. If you saw something I could have done better, make sure you leave it in the comment section. And if you want to find some more awesome Planet Coaster content, make sure you subscribe to my channel, Mostly Average Matt. I have videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 11 a.m. So again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Later.